Welcome back to Talk of the Town. Well, it's the new year, and we're talking about two things, trying to save the heritage and get back in shape. And one group has found a way to blend those two laudable goals, and that's Chip Collins and Al Olivetti. And you have a bike ride to support the heritage. Tell us about how that got started.
Yeah, thanks for being here. Well, Al has... this guy's a maniac, by the way. In case you're into physical fitness,
he has that kind of maniac look about him.
Yeah, and you want to basically torture yourself or others, you got to hook up with Al Olivetti. Anyway, why don't you tell him about the start of this ride?
Sure. The ride started about 4 years ago as an excuse for me to spend 2 days on my birthday, my 40th birthday, to get away, recharge my batteries, and just challenge myself. So I contacted a couple close friends of mine, and they were on board. They were going through the same thing I was. One was turning 40, just like myself, and one was a little bit older. And so we just took off. We took off for 2 days and rode from Hilton Head to Greenville, South Carolina. And
that's 250 miles, something like that?
Yeah, 260. Yes, ma'am.
So in 2 days.
That's right.
That's 2 big days.
2 big days, right. We ride the first day from here to Aiken, and then the second day from Aiken to Greenville.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then somebody brought you home?
Yeah, we got a ride home. Correct. Yes. Absolutely.
Wow. I mean, that's how many hours a day did you ride?
The first day is about 8 hours in the saddle, and the second day is approximately 7 hours.
Yeah. But when you combine all that, honestly, we left at sunrise, and we got in after sunset. And so that first day was like 160 miles in the saddle, and then you work in lunch and all those things. So it makes for a really long day.
I guess so. So this went on for 4 years. It became like your annual just outing with some buds.
That's right. Once the word got out that we were doing that, it kind of snowballed where other people wanted to be part of it, and people just started joining and coming with us. And for the first 3 years, it was maybe a core group of maybe 4 or 5 or 6 people. And then the fourth year, this year, Chip got involved. Yeah. And that's when it kind of went to another purpose and another meaning behind it.
So tell us how you got the idea.
Well, I've been hanging out with Al in the world of triathlon for the last couple of years, and so when he told me about this ride, actually I wanted to do it last year, and it was too cold, and I wimped out. So this year I needed to have an accountability partner. So basically I posted on Facebook, and I said, if I ride my bike across the state of South Carolina, will you make a donation to help save the heritage? And I had like 45 people respond back over the next day or two that said, yeah, we'd love to do that. So all of a sudden it turned into something, A, I had to do, I couldn't back down, and B, we started raising money to help try to save the heritage this year.
Well, and that's what it's going to be. I mean, it seems like an overwhelming amount to try to save the heritage, but if we all do things like this, and I mean, if everybody did something little like this, then it would chip away at that, and we'll be here.
Yeah, well, if you talk to Bill Wagner or Steve Wilmot over at the Heritage Classic Foundation, they'll tell you exactly that really it's about the money, certainly, but it's also about this show of public support, that as they're out there looking for would-be title sponsors for the tournament, which they're doing actively, those title sponsors want to know, is Hilton Head and Bluffton, are they behind this tournament? Do they want to see it succeed from here on out? And I think that this is a way for people to demonstrate that, not only through their pocketbook, but just by them raising their hands and saying they appreciate the tournament.
Because sponsorship is really an investment, and they want to make sure their investment's going to pay off.
Yeah.
I mean, that's good business, and that's good for the tournament too. So,
absolutely.
Well, wonderful. Well, I think we have a couple pictures, and so you just had the ride for this year, right?
Yes, ma'am. January 6th and 7th.
Wow, it was pretty cold then.
You know, we were very lucky this year. It was chilly, cold at the beginning of the mornings, maybe in the high 30s, but by mid-afternoon the sun was shining strong on both days, and we had just beautiful weather.
Wonderful. Oh, there's Chip.
Yeah.
Sitting there right by the air vac in your palatial start-out thing, right?
That's a Bo Milbourne glamour shot right there. But Bo Milbourne of 33 Park Photography, he came and he was one of our big supporters on Facebook too, and he was all about it and wanted to come take our pictures, and he did a whole detailed write-up and article and showed a map of our route, etc., and really helped spread the word about the ride. So it was really a neat way to start the day.
Well, and there's the crew.
Yeah, so you got Al there on the right, you got Joe Nix, you got Alan Reese, Mark Schaefer, he's an animal, Nick Felix, he's an amazing cyclist, and then myself there on the far left end there.
So now this is not an event for just your average afternoon cyclist. I mean, you have to be in pretty good shape to be able to do something like this, don't you? I mean,
without a doubt, yeah. You can't just get off the couch and go ride your bike for 2 days like that. I would assume. I know myself. I put in about 5 weeks of pretty intense training for it. I don't know what everyone else did, but we were all in really good shape. There was no weak link, so to speak. Everyone was very strong for the 2 days, and we were happy we were, because after 15 hours of sitting in that saddle and spinning your legs, you know whether or not you're prepared for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the critical difference, of course, is that once you basically get to Aiken and from there all the way up to Greenville, there's these things called hills.
Yeah.
And we don't have those around here. So you can only go over the bridge so many times to train for that kind of ride. So it was, for me especially, the first time I'd done it, that was probably the biggest part of the experience.
Well, and also the elevation starts becoming an issue, doesn't it? I mean, it's not that high, but...
No.
but
You mean lack of oxygen?
Yeah.
I hope not.
No.
Only because I was sucking wind in the back of this pace line.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, wonderful. So what's the future hold for the event?
Well, this is going to continue every year, without a doubt. Every first week in January, typically when we go, and of course, it's kind of under the radar type of event. Anyone who wants to come is welcome to come. There's no entry fee, there's no reservation, there's no confirmation. You just kind of get the word that you want to be part of it, and you're in, and you show up on the Thursday morning.
You're responsible for all your own gear and everything?
Yes, and that's another good thing. This year we actually had a SAG vehicle where someone actually drove with us at certain checkpoints and provided us some nutrition and some fluids and change of clothes if we want them. That was the first for this year. If that continues on next year, we don't know, but that was a great bonus this year.
Well, that'd be great. And if, for whatever reason, somebody found they couldn't continue, you don't have to...
That's right.
There you are in the middle of
You can always
Aiken
jump in
someplace,
the car and
right.
get a ride through the next rest point. So from here going forward, absolutely, we're doing the ride every year. I think Chip has a good vision as how we're going to use it, continue to use it as a community builder, as a fundraiser, and you can probably elaborate on that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's one thing to have the physical fitness to go out and do the ride, but my thought was you ought to leverage it. I mean, there's certain people that look at that and say, wow, I'd love to do that someday, and I admire the fact that you want to go do it, torture yourself for a couple of days. So why not leverage that for an opportunity for some community involvement?
Well, it's wonderful, and surely it'll catch the attention of some, maybe a bicycle sponsor. Who knows?
Yeah,
for the heritage. I'm sure that they're not leaving any stone unturned, but we want to make sure that people know from all walks of life here that this community is behind that tournament.
Yeah.
That's right.
Well, wonderful. Well, this is not, now you're a fitness professional, right?
Well, I do. I own a business that caters to athletes. I own a retail store, and I also own an event production company where we actually produce triathlons and running races on Hilton Head Island. That's called On Productions.
Got it. So you have at least a professional interest in making sure things like this continue and go
Right.
on. But you are in the realty business, right? So,
Yeah.
so real estate, this fitness is just a passion of yours.
Yeah, it's been a nice way to balance out working hard in the office, and it's been a great way. I mean, this sort of subculture of triathletes and endurance athletes on the island is extremely robust, and they're just wonderful people. So it's been a great way to meet new folks and make new connections and live a healthy lifestyle.
Well, that's great. So how's the real estate business?
It's good, actually. The market, believe it or not, we think is starting to see its turn in the other direction in terms of level of activity. There were probably 15 to 20% more transactions last year than in 2009, so that's an upward trend,
Well,
and
good.
pricing ought to follow at some point.
So you need all the fitness you can to keep up with the
Yeah,
demand.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a busy time.
Very good. And so what's going on with On throughout the year?
Well, we have a full slate of activities for Hilton Head Island. The big event coming up is May 21st. It's called the Hilton Head Island Triathlon. It's been going on for 9 years now. It's kind of the hallmark event for Hilton Head regarding sporting events with the triathlon nature. Of course, that's a swim, bike, run. We have 2 more triathlons in the summer months, one in July and one in August. And then we have the Run for Rhett 5K run in the Sea Pines Forest Preserve. And then we have our biggest running event of the year in Bluffton called the Bluffton Half Marathon and 5K, and that's going to be in November of this year.
So even if you can't do 2 days at 250 miles in a bike, you can still find lots of fun ways to be involved in the fitness community
Absolutely,
here.
absolutely, yes, ma'am.
And burn off those holiday calories.
That's right.
Right, very good. Well, Chip Collins and Al Olivetti, thank you so much for using your passions and channeling to the good of the community, and we wish there are more people like you here.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jane. Good
Thanks
to
for
be here.
coming. Stay with us for more Talk of the Town.